Amityville Horror, thank you for visiting. I am Clint.
I'm Don.
And we are joined here again.
And he is some asshole that can't get his laptop working. Pretty sure his name is Bobby Heckman.
Bob Heckman, what's up?
Bob Heckman. Welcome. You are part of a very, very exclusive, prodigious group, of repeat offenders, people who have come back to the show. This has not happened very much. I'm trying to think. How many times is it now, Don? 2,
Jen Angle,
3.
Jen Angle.
Is this 3 now?
Claire.
Yes.
Who else has been on twice or more?
Jen Angle and Claire Bacon have both been on twice.
Who are they? Remind me who they are.
Jen Angle is Malvolia. She does a web series.
Yep.
She's
Queen
in a couple of
Malvolia.
movies.
It's a vampire series she does on the internet. Claire Bacon is Slutty the Clown. If you have,
yes, I've heard of
seen
Slutty.
Yep. So if you have
they're way more
Trauma
important than me. Everybody's more important than me. So
after your little fan film called Victim No More.
Never heard of it.
That kind of changed the hierarchy.
Let's go through Gettysburg.
We're going all spoiler free. I feel
spoiler free.
I love it.
All right, guys, go watch the movie.
Everything.
Go watch the movie. This has been a Hamityville Horror Podcast production. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yep, we can't talk without spoiling it. So peace out.
Yeah, peace out, Girl Scout.
Listen, I forgot to mention something the last time I was on. I want to mention it. Hamityville, obviously named after Amityville.
Correct.
It's 20 minutes up the road, right there. The Amityville house, right out, very close to me on Long Island.
I got that question the other day.
You should be in the car on your phone right now, right outside the house. I thought we talked about that once.
We did. I'm sorry. Don, what did you say?
I got asked that question the other day as far as why was our podcast called Hamityville Horror? And I said, well, we take hammy indie movies and we go ham on them and we review them.
That's brilliant.
So beautiful.
Geniuses. Did you both come up with that at the same time?
No, that was all me.
That was all you?
That's why I got the banner and he doesn't.
That's right. Yeah. No, I wanted to get more complicated with it. I wanted to do ridiculous titles like what was it? Fraternity Brothers in the Greaseball Cinerama of Death or something like that.
Shorty Babes. Jesus Christ. Nobody's gonna watch that.
No one would ever be able to say it. And that was part of the beauty.
Podcast. What?
That would have been all right. The Blood Fart Podcast. I'd have been okay with that. Chris Seaver definitely would have approved of that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In fact,
and he would have to be a regular on the show if we're going to do that.
Have to pay him royalties.
Well, what's your favorite Chris Seaver movie? Let's talk about Chris Seaver now.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Before we get into stuff.
I really like Terror Blood Fart Lake. I was just watching that the other day, and that's a really good one.
That is a good one. I was a pretty big fan of Mulva Zombie Ass Kicker. I really like that one. I like that one a lot. And for some reason, there's a lot of people who don't, and I don't quite understand why. I thought that one was hilarious.
That was my first outing with him as the eye gouge zombie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Man,
why
you
Clint
got taken
picked it.
out by Bone Jack.
That's why Clint picked it.
14 shots to the dism, biatch.
Dude, I'm telling you, Chris Seaver is a fucking rare. He's a rare talent, man. That dude is awesome.
Did you watch any of his new movies? Did you pick up any of the movies at the convention?
Clint, dude, you got
I
Evil
grabbed
Night?
Evil Night. I was gonna get the Anal Paprika series. I'll probably get that later, but I decided on Evil Night, and that's for like, silly reasons, like there's like a porn star in it, so I need to see what they do with that. So
fuck it.
Okay.
I'm down. Down anyway.
That, and I heard it was good, so I wanted to check it out.
It's good, and you got to check out the Anal Paprika trilogy, the Holy Trilogy.
Nice, nice.
And I'm a fan of. He doesn't like it, but I like Quest for the Egg Salad. It's part of that box set.
That one's good.
That one is good.
It's funny. I don't know. It just there's part. I mean, I understand why he doesn't like it, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's fun and it's quick, and
yeah,
there's wacky characters throughout. And
I can tell you about his movies.
What
I do like is they go by quick. They go by quick. Like it doesn't feel like you're wasting time. Like they're well paced.
Yeah, absolutely.
I laughed my ass off when he did his Ronnie James Dio impression in that.
Oh yeah. Sword.
Fucking amazing. You know what else is amazing?
What's
Before
up?
we get too off topic, there's this other movie that pretty sure this other asshole did called Victim No More.
Okay, yes,
that's it's pretty good. Yeah, you heard of it? Pretty sure we've heard of it.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I did. I mean,
all right.
I mean, we got to at least mention it, but no, seriously. We wanted to talk to you. But you were busy. You had Kimberly with you. You had Chris with you. We didn't want to. We didn't want to interrupt anything.
I saw you guys kind of like on my peripheral view while I'm talking to people, and they tell me what their thoughts are and everything. I saw you kind of like go around the people by the concession stand and then wander, out. I had my eye on you because I'm
sure you did.
I got to get to Don and Clint.
Yeah, no, we wanted to be respectful with your time, and I don't know, you don't get to hang out with those guys a lot, so we want to make sure that you got your time with them. But
I super appreciate that, and I wanted to like walk Kim outside a little bit and everything because she wasn't going to stay for like the Chris Seaver documentary. She was exhausted and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
We came back in for that.
Yeah, we came back in for that, which was amazing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you guys stayed for that. That's great. Oh my God.
The other guy we were with, had to leave. He was driving back to Brooklyn that night. Right. And so we walked him out to his car in between, but we came back because I wanted to see that.
Great. What'd you think of that?
Oh, I loved it.
That was great. Loved
it.
Yeah.
Great.
It's really, really done well. Zach Oliveris, who did it, did an amazing job. You got to get him on the podcast to talk about it.
We will.
Get into like the reason why he wanted to do, a documentary on Chris Seaver and, his 30 plus years of making movies and, he's got a good story,
It's unbelievable to think that it's been that long. Like, and I know after watching the documentary, we know, but it's like, really, it's been that fucking long. Like you've been doing these movies. Yeah, it's insanity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. But
so you premiered your movie at the Gettysburg Creature Feature. What was your experience like that weekend? Because you were working the whole time.
Yeah,
I was, and I can't thank Craig enough, the organizer for Creature Feature Weekend.
Yeah.
As soon as he found out I was going to do a fan film or tribute film, as I like to call it, like he was just like, you got to premiere at Creature Feature Weekend. You got to do it. I'm like, you know what? I would love that. So that gave me a deadline, which I didn't quite have. So it kind of really pushed me to like hit that deadline for the end of August to get it completed by then. So the experience. I mean, I can't thank him enough for putting us in the same room with Kimberly Beck, because I was going to be working her table, because she always likes when I work with her, and and I just love being with her and hanging out. But I was so happy that like the Victim No More table was directly across from the table, so I could see James Taffarelli, who played Jason, and Lindsay, his wife, who was also in the movie and helped out in a million ways. Mm-hmm. Like that we could just sit there and wave to each other and stuff, And...
Who won that raffle? Did me and Clint win?
No, what? We would have called you. No.
Okay.
I don't know who the people were that won the raffle. I pulled the raffles and called the numbers, and everybody came for them. And
good.
Well, there's a second raffle, right, for like the dead rat in a lunchbox. Like maybe we can still get that.
Oh
well, because he's got it right in fucking front of him. Shocker.
I just want the lunchbox. Master Universe.
Is it a rat?
That was a cat.
I think it's a rat. I think it's
a cat. It's a big ass rat, dude. That's a cat. That's a cat.
I think it's a baby velociraptor.
I'll go with that. That's the next fan film.
Yeah.
Jason
versus Raptors. Gross. It's like
just hatched.
These orange peels that are in here are real, but it doesn't smell. So I don't know what the special effects guy, Ricky Vitus, who did all the effects in the movie, did to make this not smell, but it's been sitting in my living room for...
Because it's a fucking He-Man lunchbox. He-Man keeps all that shit sealed.
That's right.
Probably a dehydrator. He probably makes potpourri in his spare time. So
yeah, he does those dried up fruits that everybody eats.
Yeah. Did you guys get a laugh out of that with the guys like, ooh, it could be worth something if it has the thermos?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was great. I like that.
Absolutely. And I hope especially coming from us, watching these movies and obviously I'm sure a lot of other people, especially watching the comments and the reviews that we've seen. When this movie first started, I know you were worried about the whole, transitional process. Is it going to look good? Is it going to look good in 4K? Is it going to look, and it honestly, first of all, it looked fucking phenomenal. It looked
I mean, it was like when I saw that it was like it didn't look like a regular size movie screen. It looked like an IMAX screen. So in my mind, I was just like, oh my God, this is massive. It's gonna the sound's gonna be horrible. It's gonna skip. It's probably only gonna play on half the screen or upside down. Beautiful. I don't know. I was worried. I was actually, sitting between Chris Seaver and Kimberly Beck while watching the movie. I looked at my hand and it was shaking a little bit right before it started. Then the disclaimer came up, and then once I heard sound and the music, I was like, oh, it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be all right.
And then I just chilled out and I just kind of enjoyed the reaction around me, and
it looked amazing, man. And it felt like
making comments. Chris was making comments, and
it felt like a Friday the 13th movie. It looked like a Friday the 13th movie. That was the thing that really separated it from these other fan films. I don't know what it is and I'm going to try to make it.
First, it felt like Weekend at Bernie's the way it started.
It did. You're not lying. Sure, there's a hand
meets Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, right? I love the fact that the font.
Don noticed the font.
The font from Part 8,
basically the same as Part 8. Yeah,
I got to throw props to the Jason Takes Manhattan fans. I just that's why I call it a tribute film, because it's paying tribute to all 12 movies in this 40-minute.
And it did, and it did it ever. I mean. And I love the fact that you get Sack Jason again. That's the Sack Jason didn't get enough, and that's Clint's favorite.
I love the Part 2 references. I mean we got it. You even opened up with a line from Part 2.
Yep.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to get some. Well, I mean, it's only been 5 days since the premiere now.
Yeah.
I was waiting for flack from fans. Because it's a line that Ginny says in the movie, and it says the quote, by Ginny Field, 1984. And I was waiting for fans of Part 2 to be like, no, that's not right. the movie was made in 1981. Blah, blah, blah. You know, like you're waiting for that to come from, but it's like, well, story wise, it takes place 5 years later, which would be 1984. Part 2, 3, and 4 all take place in 1984. But you know, there's hardcore fans that pay attention to like the continuity and timelines and stuff like that, and there's other hardcore fans that just like kind of, you know, they look at it a different way and they'll be like, no, it's a mistake, you know, like you know,
chill the fuck out and watch the movie. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
Yeah, shit on it later. Have fun
exactly.
now.
Have fun watching it. Like,
and it's also a little bit of a reference to the Freddy movies, because you know they always have like the quotes.
The quotes in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's red font and stuff like that. You know.
So here's one thing I'll throw at you. So, especially, you know, with the Jason Manhattan, you know, Takes Manhattan font at the beginning and everything, were you ever going to use Part 8's Jason, or was it always Part 7 that was in your mind?
Part 7 was always in my mind, because I mean that's like a definitive Jason look that everybody agrees looks awesome.
That is true.
Whether or not how close we would get to that look, you know, makeup wise, costume wise, I was just hoping for the best with our makeup artist.
Oh, we were blown away. Like, you walked up and I was like, Jesus Christ, like, did you guys take that from fucking Paramount? You guys fucking robbed them.
Yeah, because and I had seen a couple of other fan films that try to do that same look. And hold on a second. Let me just silence my phone.
I was to say, if he says Catherine Mary Stewart comes in this call, I'm gonna piss my fucking pants.
Oh, you can't see. Wait, it's actually Catherine Mary Stewart texting.
Oh,
I see it now.
My goodness.
Tell her to come in the chat. I'll send her a link real quick. 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes.
I'm silencing her.
Just give me 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
Damn, silencing Catherine Mary Stewart for an
terrible.
interview with us.
She was just giving a thumbs up to something I sent to her. But yeah, I'd seen a couple of the fan films, and like I wasn't that satisfied by their Part 7-ish look or whatever, and I'm just like, I hope Ricky does like a better job than this. But I really had all the faith in the world in Ricky, because he was a face-off contestant. You guys know that show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the 6th season. He was on that. He's just a really good, you know, artist that, like, the attention to detail, like stuff that you're not even going to see on screen. Like, you go into the nook and crannies of that outfit. There'll be like a little behind the scenes documentary, and you know, I'll get real close to the costume, and you'll see like that he has like algae and moss on him, and you know, so I like the idea, and I told him that too. I'm like, make him a little swamp thingy too, because maybe he's been in this, like, you know, water for a really long time. So you know, that mixed with Sackhead Jason, which I love also. Yeah, I thought it would be like a cool twist, you know.
And again, it looked I mean, god damn, dude. I mean, it just didn't feel like a fan film. It just didn't. You know, watching it, it just didn't feel it really just didn't feel like that. And you know, no disrespect to the other people. Yeah, right. No disrespect to anybody else that's tried to do it, you know, Jason Pitts with Night of the Beast, Peter Anthony with Roseblood. I mean, ridiculous production value.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that one thing that we've learned, especially with like when somebody does like a same project, like when somebody does a Friday the 13th fan film, tribute film.
You can call it a fan film.
Nobody jumps on everybody's shit. It's not like, well, they did this, and this wrong. This and like everybody kind of supports each other, because you're trying to do the same thing. Everybody made a fan film. Everybody's doing what they can do. Because let's face it, again, you're looking at the echelons of things. You know, you have this budget up against this budget up against this budget.
Right.
With what you did with the budget you had is in fucking sanity.
Thank you.
Absolute insanity, because again, it felt like a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
I think the idea of what makes it seem like even a higher production. I mean, forget it. The cinematography alone from Sean King. I mean, he really put super care into every single shot we did, you know, like something that might have just been like 4 shots in a little scene. Like it took hours just to set up those shots. Like he really cared about the lighting and how it looked and everything. But I think what helped that, from my point of view, is that we had multiple locations. So multiple locations, I think, sometimes in a short film makes it feel like a bigger film because you're not, because you're leaving, you're leaving to different areas. So, I mean, if you're halfway through the film, which would be like 20 minutes into it, you start thinking about where you started. And you're just like, man, we started in the city. We went to a therapy office. We had our little Friday 13th intro opening credit thing. Then we're like in Blairstown, then we're in the woods, and then, it takes off from there. So like you already feel like you're kind of watching a feature length movie and you're not, like, I don't know. How did you guys feel about that? Did you feel like you watched like a 3-act feature length movie, or did it feel like a really, really super fast short film?
Clint, go ahead.
No, I felt a progression. Definitely, the movement of the scenery from, like you said, from the city to something that's more of a suburbs to, we've got a park scene, and then we move, all the way to the lake area. At one point I was like, wow, they're really building this up. Like it didn't feel slow, but I mean, I was like, it felt like I was taking this journey, through those different things. So that I feel that was very successful, because I mean, the last thing that I would want is like to just start there. We're at the fucking lake. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like most of them start, it's like, oh, we're all showing up, the kids are going to be here any minute. You know what I mean? Let's get set up,
Yeah. And then it's kind of a matter of, well, if the characters aren't entertaining, then it's sludging along.
Right. There's so many homages to these, to the movies. I mean, it felt like part 2, and it felt like Freddy versus Jason, because part 2 starts off in the suburbs where he leaves the camp and goes and hunts down Alice and kills her. And then it felt like Freddy versus Jason because Jason shows up on Elm Street right from the get-go as soon as Freddy revives him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that. Like, okay, you're not starting in the lake at Camp Crystal Lake. And honestly, it makes it better because you build up to that. Like, damn well by the end of this movie, it's going to be on Camp Crystal Lake without a doubt. But that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. And I just really felt like, I mean, he comes out of the lake, but like, I just really felt like, you know what? I don't need to explain why, like how he comes back to life or anything. It's just, hey, it's his birthday. It's time to come back to shore.
That's
like
the one thing me and Clint would be like, why did he leave the fucking lake? Why the fuck did he do that?
I don't know. It was just, he just took a long nap, and we don't know, just like, it's time for him to like, come back to shore and do his thing,
Yeah, we're looking at each other like, why did he leave? Like, there's no reason he should have left.
Yeah. Well, he was tired of sleeping. I think it's because it was
maybe the chain rusted off finally. It just happened to be.
That's the thing. Use your imagination.
On that day.
It was awesome either way. But
that, I know I've already gotten that on a couple of like podcast reviews and stuff like that. Like, well, so when does this movie takes place? So does it take place after part 6, after part 7? Because you still got like a chain thing. Well, at the end of part 7, he still had like the chain around his neck with the lock.
Yeah.
And what I'm not saying like I'm ignoring everything after part 7, But for those fans that aren't crazy about the movies after part 7, they could pretend that this is after his body goes in the lake at the end of part 7, and then years later he walks back out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, then you could ignore those. Those fans could ignore those. I'm not saying that. In my mind, it was like, hey, maybe somebody else way after Tommy Jarvis chained him to the bottom of the lake, and he broke out after Tina broke that chain. Maybe somebody else tried to drown him too. Maybe said, hey, Tommy did it once before and he was gone for years. Let's try to like do the same thing. Maybe they tried. So it's not specific. I like to keep things vague and up to the fans' imaginations. So just like what happens at the end, it's like, well, who are all these people? It's like, hey, they all have their own story, and it's up to you what their stories are. Some of them might be sisters of former victims and, relatives of some sort. I mean, I know who the characters are, and I would love to explore that in a possible sequel. And Catherine Mary Stewart is obviously Megan
Jarvis. Megan Jarvis.
That's right, not Megan Garris anymore. She got married to Tommy, didn't she?
I was like, well, there you go.
There you go.
And she blew his fucking arm off. She blew his fucking arm, like,
that's
flat
it.
out.
Well, I feel like Jennifer Cook, who played, Megan in part 6, I felt like she never really got to like kick ass much. I mean, she used the motorboat to like chop into his neck and everything.
Drove a Camaro.
And she saved Tommy's life, by giving him mouth to mouth and stuff. But she never really got to like do it, other things that the final girls got to do. So I was like, well, let me have it be Megan at the end, because she's like a fan favorite.
Oh, love Megan.
Yeah, because she's like the cutest, final girl ever. No offense to Amy and Kim. You're all beautiful. You're all beautiful.
Don't worry, we can edit this. We're not live. I'll edit the shit out.
No, they are. They're all beautiful and amazing people in real life too. But I figured out of the one final girl that fans would understand if I replaced the actor, it would be Jennifer Cook, because as we all know, right after that movie, she never acted again. And she's doing, she's somewhere being rich.
Right.
There's a story there, but like, the fans would understand that, all right, it's okay that it's not Jennifer Cook. Like, you can't replace Amy Steele. You can't replace Kimberly Beck. You can't replace Adrienne King, or Dana Kimmel. Like, those actresses have to be played by those actresses, like those characters have to be played by those actresses. But Jennifer Cook, I feel like, you know what, if I replace her with a bigger name.
I was just saying, you replaced her with Catherine Mary fucking Stewart. I don't care about Jennifer Cook at this
needs
point.
To be longer. Catherine Mary fucking Stewart.
Yeah, CMFS.
Yeah, there you go. So, who's bigger than all those actresses,
right?
And in her work, Weekend at Bernie's, Last Starfighter, Night of the Comet, everything that she's done, TV and movies. And she got the direct scenes too.
She was the second unit.
Yeah, that whole opening sequence of the city shots and everything was all her. Like,
that was great.
She
picked amazing spots. The opening shot, because I kind of gave her the idea of what I wanted. And just that opening shot where like it starts off in the trees, comes down, and you see the lake, and you think immediately, here we are, we're in Crystal Lake. And then it pans back up and you see the fountain in the middle of Central Park.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's the greatest location ever, Catherine.
It was great. It was great. Cinematography was fucking gorgeous. It was great.
That's due to Sean King. He's amazing. And like the three of us, Catherine, Sean, and I, ran all over the city the entire day, and grabbed all those shots. There's so much, like we filmed so much more, and maybe that stuff will wind up on the Blu-ray.
Director's cut.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We need a 10-minute opening of
Fucking
like every
first of all,
tourist place in the city.
The soundtrack to that movie was fucking incredible. The soundtrack was unreal.
Oh, we're not responsible for most of the soundtrack.
That's you, but you're responsible for putting it in there. See, most people, they don't have that ear. They can just throw shit randomly in there. But I mean, all the music, soundtrack, whether it was the license or whether it was the musical score, which was, Mr. Manfredini. So, can't take anything away from that.
Yeah, I was hoping that I was placing the right music in the right spots because
perfect.
I mean, I was listening to those soundtracks for months and months.
Yeah.
Like, just sitting there going, and then like lining it up with the movie because the music is put in last. And so I would watch the movie and listen to the soundtracks and stuff like that, and then go back to the movies of like similar scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, similar scenes from the original movies, like this works for that, so maybe it'll work here in this film.
Yeah,
like all the point of view shots with somebody watching the couple and everything. Like, I felt really good when I started putting that in, and it was working.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like it was working.
That was very successful in my opinion. That really is what made it feel like a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Part of how it was laid out and the way it was shot, that helped too. But I mean, like having the music key in at the right moment, and have it be so identifiable with what's occurring on the screen, and it felt natural. It felt like something that, like nostalgic, that we could really be like, oh man, yeah, I remember this. It really had that element to it when I was watching it. And I would have to say that I really, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, yeah, I really tried to, like, get into those nostalgic feels that we all do when we watch these movies over and over again. Because, like some of those, like, point of view shots, what I like in those old movies is, like I like how where it should cut. Like, if it was a modern movie, it would be cut in half some of those shots, but like just like the point of view shot where you see the couple walk off, like as soon as they start walking, yeah, let's cut to the next scene. But like, I'm just like, no, let them like almost leave frame or leave frame, like when we cut, because that's what those old movies did. They like let the scene breathe. Like, it was atmospheric in that way. It was just kind of like, let the scenes breathe. Like, no, it doesn't have to be cut,
bam,
cut,
bam,
cut,
bam.
cut. Yeah, like you're listening to music. It's taking its time. The main character, Robbie. I mean, I know like half the movie is him like walking around the woods, just discovering stuff. But it's like with the music and everything, it's like I was hoping
you don't know. You never know.
Yeah, like it's kind of building suspense because you don't know what he's going to run into or what's going to happen.
Clint, let me ask you something, man, because this is something that I kept thinking. And Bobby, I don't know if you heard it from anybody else or if you thought it, but
okay,
the way that the camera shoots the movie, way that the camera's around. Clint, did you ever feel like you were going to see something in the background, like you would see Jason walking or see somebody else walking? That was something that I fucking absolutely loved.
Always looking for something.
I was always looking past the person.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm like, Jason's going to come walking up.
Yeah.
He may not even come walking up. He might just go walking by.
Yeah. Another reason why you hold on the shots. Like, let's look in the background. Let's see what those ducks are up to in the background floating around. Or the horses way in the background when you see Hibbing's farm.
First of all, there was a turtle in this movie. The turtle being in the movie.
Best actor in the movie.
Yeah, it automatically gets one. Whatever we score this, it gets 1 point extra.
As soon as he realized he was being filmed, he's like, bloop.
He was like, fuck that, boom.
Oh, man. Like, yeah, I had to scare
that. Talk to my agent. Bloop.
I had to scare that turtle to have him dunk his head.
Oh my God.
That's fantastic.
And I'm waiting for the people too to say like, oh, those city shots are like, pulled off the internet, or like
bullshit.
Or, like, I'm waiting for it. I'm seriously waiting for I mean, it's the first week it's out, so
right.
Tell me it was in Vancouver. I guarantee you want to hear people fucking go nuts. Tell me you were in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of love from family and friends and everything. So I'm waiting for, the haters to hate, and the picky fanboy motherfuckers, like we discussed in the last.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for them to be like, Ginny Field, 1984. That's not right. Part 2 was made in 81. Stuff like that. And then oh, they use stock footage for the city shots. That have nothing to do with anything.
I can't wait for you to squash that real quick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever I say is they're gonna go,
right.
oh, it sucked. And some of the character stuff, I think there's a lot of people that might not like some of the character things. Like the main kid, right from the first scene, he comes off right away as naive and says he understands his mom's trauma, but he really doesn't. And Jill Whitlow, the therapist, is trying to explain to him, like, you sure you want to do this? This is not really, you can't erase your mom's past or trauma by just going to where her trauma was and showing it how everything's okay. Like, this is not how life works. So I think people might be like, oh, this kid's stupid. This kid's dumb. Like, but it's like he's awkward and weird and like.
There's a word for that. There's a word for that. It's called relatability.
I didn't read him that way. I mean, I walked into that seeing someone who looked tired, and frazzled and overwhelmed, and someone who just didn't know what to do anymore. Which was the whole purpose, in my opinion, is why they were at therapy. And they're just grasping for something to make this seemingly unmanageable situation better. And they come up with what they think is the perfect solution, and it's, he's so convinced in it and wants to have some sort of resolution to this that he's like, he doesn't care if it's dumb.
I think it's kind of selfish in a way. Like, I think it's for the character. I think it's like he just thinks he's really just trying to help himself. Not really.
And that seems to come out with the therapist in the dialogue where she's like, well, I know you want to help, if let her know that you want to do this for her, but also for you,
Yes. Yeah, which was totally Jill adding her own dialogue. I mean, she really, like, it was.
How good was she?
She was fucking incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, I just heard from somebody else yesterday, like, how much they loved her in it, and I'm just like, oh, thank God, because she hasn't really done a role like that in 30 years or something. So it's like, I thought she was great, and like she changed a lot of my dialogue. So I gave her credit for like additional dialogue. Because she made it more relatable than like what I wrote. Simple things too, like just saying, like in the script, it was like, oh, tell me about your father. And she just said, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, tell me about your dad. Because it's more personal.
Exactly.
Personal. So, just that, and what she said, like you said before, well, if it helps her, not only for her, but for you also, blah, 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 just like, she just made it flow really well. And,
it's also relatability too. I mean, you got to look at, like, this is how a kid would be if, his parents went through the things that his parents went through, the traumatic experience of watching a maniac, hack your friends up and living to tell about it.
Right.
And, so again, I wouldn't expect anything other than, that was more relatable than somebody being some badass motherfucker that I'm going to go kill Jason because he's relatable. Like, how many people would be like that kid? 99% of us would probably be like that kid.
Yeah, it was funny. I was sitting next to Chris Seaver, and he's making funny comments and stuff that really like eased my nerves and
Chris
stuff.
Seaver, what do you expect?
Yeah, of course. But the part where Robbie runs into Jason and he like runs, Seaver's like, "Ooh, you call that running?" Like,
right? You're not lying.
And then Sean Jordan next to him, he's like prancing. And that cracked me up. And in my mind, I'm just like, well, like realistically in the movie as the character, I'm like, this kid probably never ran a day in his life. That's why he kept stopping and starting and stopping, because it's like, this kid's been sheltered his whole life. I'm adding like logic where you don't need to, but like, I'm like, this kid's never had to run.
2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I'd have been fucking dead.
Yeah.
I'd have died from running. Fuck Jason killing me.
Yeah, he's had an overprotective mother. He's probably been babied his whole life, Kimberly Beck had a blast, like seeing her fictional son, do it,
I'm glad you got her involved in it. That's really cool.
There was no doubt in my mind that she would be involved in some, one way or another. I knew she wasn't going to be in it. But I was like, all right, I got to have this voiceover of you leaving a message as the mom at the end.
Which was awesome. Which was fantastic.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, sure, definitely. And here's the thing about working with Kimberly, Jill, Catherine, and Amy. It's like these are 4 professional actresses.
4 horsewomen.
Yeah, that have been in the industry for 40 or more years. And it's like they're totally professional. And when you ask for a take of something, like say the line 5 different times, just different pacing, different ways. They do it, and then you don't know what choice to make because they're all great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. So I got
a good problem to have.
No, it's a great problem to have, but it's like, all right, now how do I choose? I have to get like a different set of ears on it. It's like, hey, can you choose? Kim did this line 5 times. Can you help me pick out the right one? Because I don't know.
Right.
And nobody will ever know those other takes, but Catherine was great. Everything with Catherine was like one take, say the lines a few different times, and then I chose.
Here's my shocked face.
Catherine is amazing. She was on set on days she didn't need to be on set. That's how amazing she was. Like when we were shooting at the cabins and everything we shot there, she was there. She was just there, soaking it up, giving suggestions, giving advice. We're going to listen to her. She's the big professional. She was just truly like mentoring me on set.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every suggestion she made, I used, and it's in the movie. Right. Just little things like when the couple enter the one cabin, and the girl like stops for a moment, looks around with her flashlight, and just kind of goes, just sighs, and continues walking. That's Catherine's decision. Because originally she just walked with her boyfriend into the next room. It's like she's like, oh, she kind of like,
hinder a little bit,
and look around, and it kind of chews up the scene a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm like,
do it.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. And she's like, all right, great. I'm gonna go get pizza. I'm like, you're not the production. We have production assistants.
Right. Right.
He's like, I want to do it. Let me do it.
You're not a PA. Sit down. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. We were just like, no, you're a star.
She's amazing. I love her. I love your guys' relationship. It's so fucking funny. Anytime you post stuff, it's hilarious. So I can only imagine how much fun you guys had doing this.
Everybody's fun. I have almost the exact relationship with Catherine as I do Jill, Amy, and Kim too.
That's awesome. That's why this, and that's
Gettysburg with Kim. Forget it. driving downtown, going across the battlefields, and going in and out of stores. Just having fun. Just
that's why this movie is going to succeed and has succeeded like it has, because again, you have to have a love to do this, and you have to have people around you that feel the same way. It's one thing if you have a director that wants to do this, but if you don't have people around you that feel almost the exact same way, you just get like a muddled, I don't know, like a muddled production. Like, how much of it are you putting in compared to the people that are in it? With this, it never felt like that. It felt like everybody was trying to give everything that they could.
Yes.
To make this work.
Yeah, everybody worked super, super hard. And like, man, filming in the summertime, this is why they don't make Friday the 13th movies in the summer. It's always like in the fall or winter. It was 90 something degrees on a lot of days, sticky, and gross, and humidity, and and the days that there was a slight breeze, it was like a blessing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody, they didn't complain. They were just like, all right, we're going to be shooting here for 16 hours. Let's do it. Let's get it done. The second day was the worst day of shooting. And
how many days did it take you?
And it was the day that we killed Sean, Maddie, his character.
Yeah.
Twist his head around. That was the worst day. That was the day, like, I threw out my back.
Oof.
I had a rash. It was like, it was just gross. It was just
damn.
Yeah, it was just disgusting. But that was the only day we could shoot with that actor.
Yeah. How many days total did it take for this?
Well, if you want to count the pickup shot day, which was just a couple months ago, it was almost like a full year since we shot, and like we need a couple pickup shots. If you want to count that day, it's actually 13 days of shooting.
Jesus.
So,
well, then we'll count that, because now it sounds cooler.
Right. Yeah, now it sounds cooler. Like, I was like, oh man, 12 days. And Sean, the cinematographer, was just like, like, you had to make it 13 days. Then you had to make it 13 days. I'm like, it wasn't my fault. We need pickup shots. And
yeah,
there were shots that actually, and I feel bad, that Catherine shot on second unit that didn't come out well because of it was a camera issue. It wasn't her or her shots. Her shots were great. It was something to do with it was a technical problem. It was bringing the cameras from outside to the inside of the car. And it was the shots where Robbie's looking at the maps and stuff like that. Like, we had to reshoot that basically. It wasn't like adjusted correctly or something.
Say, Clint, shit happens.
Shit happens. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So if you notice Robbie in that particular scene, you'll see a little goofs because they don't match up to everything that we shot.
Oh.
Like new tattoos on his arm. It's like,
I didn't even notice.
Tattoos. He thought he was done filming, So he went and tattooed himself up.
Motherfucker, can't you wait till we're done?
Yeah.
On this arm.
Yeah.
Check out this arm in that shot.
He
doesn't have it later on in the movie.
I've watched this movie 3 times since the premiere.
Yep.
I
never noticed that.
Nope.
Well, that's great then. That means like we did something right. You're like looking at other things. You're paying attention to the story or what might be going on inside the mind of the characters. Or
exactly. No, I mean, again, if you're not focused on that obviously proves that you're paying attention to other shit.
And I did appreciate the tone shift of the movie. Because we're talking about the opening scene was very serious. You know what I mean? And then we got some travel, which was a little less serious, and then we just drop in on this couple.
Yep. Comedic relief.
Having a very jovial, fun conversation about the difference between Amityville and
Hamityville.
Hamityville.
Yeah,
I fuck that up every time. I'm like, It's Hamityville. No, bitch. Amityville. Go look at the 70 movies that came out.
Yeah, of course, a Long Island couple would be talking about Amityville.
Of course.
So I was like, that's a push to us, man.
Traditionally, like I was talking about before, like the Friday the 13th movies have kind of been just like one note, one tone the whole way, just with spots of, like surprise or kill, you know what I mean?
Right.
And or they'll introduce a twist at some point, you know what I mean? It's a very straight path. This had depth to it. I mean, it took you on a ride. It was cool to feel that tonal shift that I wasn't used to with this type of movie.
Yeah, and you know what? And another cameo too that I have to mention. I can't believe we got Seth Rogen in the movie, and have him to lose so much weight. And okay, everybody keeps saying Seth Rogen. Like every single person is like, "Yo, Seth Rogen's in this movie." It's like what?
No.
Yeah. Was he walking out of a hotel with a bottle of water? I'm trying to figure it out,
No, not that guy.
I watched this movie 46 fucking times. Where is Seth Rogen?
The boyfriend. The boyfriend sounds like Seth Rogen, apparently. I'm like, all right.
I didn't think that, but all right.
And if
well, no, that's great that you didn't think that, because everybody else is saying like, oh, the boyfriend is like Seth Rogen.
No,
I'm like,
no.
Mm-hmm.
I never once got that impression.
Oh, that's great. I see. That's what I mean. Like everybody has weird, different point of view, but most of the people I talked to was just like, oh, the guy who plays Dylan talking about Amityville is,
Sounds like Seth Rogen. Fantastic.
Sounds like Seth Rogen.
Fuck that.
Now when you watch it again,
I'm gonna hear it. I'm like, God damn it, Bobby! Why did you say anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, awesome. Now I want my money back for my fucking Blu-ray because I hate Seth Rogen. No, I really don't.
He didn't laugh really annoyingly. I didn't hear that.
True story. True story.
And you know what? And well, first off, how did you guys feel about the opening credits being like the old school Friday 13th? Like
I loved it.
That was great.
I love
that.
homage like that. Like I love that the nostalgia.
I always feel like, oh, you got to do like the James Bond thing that they always do. They always have like the opening scene, and then you got to go into. I mean,
that's been done so many fucking times.
Yeah, but like I don't understand why the other fan films don't try and do that if they're trying to emulate the old Friday 13th. Like, well, do the credit sequence thing.
Yeah, right. It's not hard. I loved it. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good, man. But look, we don't want to keep you on there too long. I mean, dude,
I got another half hour if you want. So
yeah.
I mean, we absolutely fucking. I adore this movie.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it from you guys. I know you guys are hardcore fans, so what Clinton looks like he has something to say.
He does.
Or are you just telling me to be quiet?
No, he does.
No.
I know how this goes.
No.
Here we go.
I probably read too much into this.
You did.
You didn't.
This is what he does. This is what he fucking does.
I love that. That's what I did. There's not a lot of talking in this movie, so it's a lot of, what do you think is going on?
This is really silly.
Dude,
so
this is
couple
off
walking,
the fucking deep
talking. They've talked about getting a house. They've had the discussion about Long Islanders not using their porches.
Yeah,
and
absolutely true. If you ever come to Long Island, the most beautiful weather in the world,
and motherfuckers sitting out on a porch.
No, they're New Yorkers. They don't got time for that. They have to run around and go to work and go to Walmart. I don't know.
Porch, that's just that thing we decorate occasionally.
Yeah.
Store shit.
They were talking about having 3 orange kittens.
Yeah.
That would all be related.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm sure you've picked out all the names already. And one was Jonesy, one was Azrael. Yeah. And the other was Xenophilius Lovegood.
Yes.
So, and I probably picked up on the fact that she said they were all related. And I was like, are you drawing a line between these 3 names? Because if you are, I cannot figure it out. Because to me, Like
what he does.
When I hear an orange cat named Jonesy, I immediately think Alien.
100%.
Yes.
And Azrael, I think of the Smurfs.
Absolutely.
I could be wrong.
Yes,
I'm a huge Smurfs fan.
got it.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Two things I'm a fan of: Aliens and Smurfs.
All right, bam.
Okay.
Now,
Cool.
Here we
I'm
go.
with you.
Hit that third
And
one.
then Xenophilius Lovegood, as far as I could tell, that's just something from Harry Potter. So
Yes.
I cannot draw a line between these three names, no matter how hard I stretch my brain. So am I reading too much into that, or is there a connection between them?
I mean, two of those cats are actual orange cats from Aliens and the Smurfs. Azrael is the name I've always wanted to. I wanted to get a ginger cat and name it Azrael.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me, projecting that.
Yeah.
But Xenophilius Lovegood, I just thought was the greatest name ever.
When I first heard it, epic, dude.
Yeah, like when I first heard that in Harry Potter, I was just like, man, that's a name, and he's such a minor character. It's like his daughter Luna Lovegood.
Lovegood, yeah.
Yeah, turns out to be a main character or whatever. But the father's barely, but I heard that name, I'm just like, man, that's an awesome name. And I figured like these kids, walking around the woods and everything, they would be like of the age where they grew up reading Harry Potter. Okay. Like everybody that would be in their 20s or early 30s.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Makes
sense. Growing up reading Harry Potter, so they would be obsessed with Harry Potter if they were into, you know, kind of stuff.
Well, there you go too. There you go, Clint. Too. The short name of that would be Xeno, like
Xeno
Xenomorph.
Is the next, it's
Xenomorph.
The Aliens. Yeah, there you go. So you're connecting the 1 and 3.
I gotcha. Okay.
But did you notice this? They were talking about porches and stuff like that. Did you notice she dies on a porch?
True story.
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
She sure did.
Although it was not a wraparound.
It was not.
Kind of.
Was it?
No, it wasn't a wraparound. No, where it goes by the fireplace area, it just kind of stops.
Yeah.
That was. I would love to take credit for that and say, "Oh yeah, that I foreshadowed that."
Yeah, we did that on purpose.
No, I would love to do that, but yeah, that was an accident. That
was a great accident.
That was kind of like after we killed her. The next day, I was like, died on a porch.
Yeah.
Did that on purpose?
Edit that out. We're going to inflate the Smith.
Yeah, inflate it. Did you like the killings in the movie? Did you?
I did, man. It wasn't too much.
I was about to mention the boyfriend. He was the subject of a kill I don't think I've ever seen before.
I haven't either.
And that is a kill that I think I told you guys last time that is a kill that I've had.
You want it on screen.
22 years ago, I thought of that kill. Except it was, a outline that I wrote for Michael versus Jason. And Michael does that to Jason. He breaks off his rib and sticks it in his eye.
It's fucking awesome.
While they're fighting on a dock at Camp Crystal Lake, which after I saw Freddy versus Jason, I was like, they're fighting on a dock at Crystal Lake. I'm like, this is like the same thing.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, right. Fuck.
But it was Michael instead.
Yeah.
I got to pull that out one day. I got to look at that again. But yeah, I'd always wanted to do that. I always thought it was a cool idea to like break off one of Jason's ribs and use it as a weapon of some sort.
Yeah. That was wicked as shit.
I love the over the top screaming.
Oh,
we got out of the male character right before. I mean, you would totally do that.
Doing it,
yeah.
When we were doing it, we were laughing after cut, and when we had to re-record it because it was blowing out the mics, his screaming, so we had to like re-record that and place it into the movie. loop it. But like, oh my God, we could not stop laughing at Joe's high pitched screaming.
Dude, it was fucking brutal. I was like, I'm glad I didn't watch this on IMAX. I would have went fucking deaf.
But it's funny. And then there was like the decision of like how quickly should we cut this? Like, should Jason just be like boom, boom, kill him, be over with? Yeah. And Sean, we were editing it, and the cinematographer, he was like, because there's Sean the cinematographer and Sean the actor gets his head twisted around, so I keep saying Sean, but which one? So the cinematographer is like, no, you got to stretch this out. You got to do like Argento Fulci style, like where it's just like very like Jason is just messing with them. Like he knows he can kill him quickly, but he just wants to hear him scream, and the guy is taking shots at him. He's punching him, he's kicking him, which is something like you never see in horror movies.
Right.
And I really wanted to put that in there. I'm like, because it's something that drives my friend Tommy and I crazy, where it's like the people just stand there and go,
no fighting back.
It's like, how about trying to punch? Like, even when he gets grabbed by the throat, he punches him again,
Yeah.
It's like, hey, your hands are free, your legs are free.
Yeah, kicks him in the shins.
Yeah, go for it. Like, try to do as much as you can before you
fucking die.
That does bother me.
It is stupid.
A lot.
It is dumb.
Well,
one of the ones
my uncle saw it 2 days ago, and when that part is coming with the eye, he goes, well, don't look at it.
That's fucking true, man. That's so fucking hard not to do.
I was losing it. I was cracking up because it's Yeah. I mean, I have no idea what I would do in the situation. You guys probably would have no idea what you do in the situation, but
I have no idea.
That's so fucking funny. Like,
that is so true. In horror movies, it's like they either don't fight back, they just sit there and wait to be killed, or they are the clumsiest motherfuckers on the planet, leading right up to getting killed.
I have never fell that many times in my fucking life as watching these people run. I'm like, God damn, guys.
The one that gets me all the time is like Halloween Part 4 in the house with that fucking dude fucking that shotgun for 2.5 minutes.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Run!
Like, Jesus Christ, just fucking go. Oh no, it's so hard to put these shells in. Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck.
And he's like 6 inches away, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll hit him."
Yeah, man.
No, it's too late.
Fucking Michael Myers, you dummy.
Oh man, it's crazy.
So
did it make your top 3? I said I would hope that it would make your top 3.
Top 3 what?
Top 3 fan films of Friday.
No, not even close.
Okay, all right. No. Well, I tried.
No, it's number 2 right now, honestly.
All right. Never Hike Alone or something else.
Never Hike Alone is really good. I love Night of the Beast. I love Jason Pitt's take on it with Bigfoot.
That was just so crazy.
The part
that has to be
up
there.
Ripped his shirt off. When he ripped his
shirt off, that confused a lot of people.
Gotta do
confuse a lot of people.
Move,
No, man. I mean, the thing about it is that
I love the creepy ass kids. It seemed like they could be from either Nightmare on Elm Street or Children of the Corn. They just disappear into the woods. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, what the hell? No, I mean, the thing about it is that everybody has their take on these fan films, and yours was cool because it. And Clint knows I'm a big stickler for continuity. Mm-hmm. Just something about when you can continue a story and it makes sense. And that was one thing that made sense here. Like, everybody at the end, with Catherine Mary Stewart, popping up, it made sense. And with Kimberly Beck doing the message at the end, it all made sense. You guys, there's no wasted film. Like, there was no wasted movie. Like, when you usually watch these movies, you're like, God damn, man, fucking 10 minutes and you ain't doing nothing. It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like a trope. It felt like this is how I would be if I was in this situation. If I was doing these things, this is how I would talk. This is how I would do things. It just felt more relatable. The whole movie felt relatable. Yeah. It didn't feel supernatural. Let's put it that way.
And it didn't feel rushed or slowed down in areas. I know some people thought like, well, I was worried that some people might think a couple of parts would slow down and be boring. But then like I said before, we try to give, different things to look at, different and locations. So to make it seem like it's, like you said, Clint, like it's moving forward. It's like we're getting an idea for the whole area, that they're walking through. But yeah, I know. And I know a lot of people, here's something else I know I'm going to get flack for sooner or later, is that we pan away from the battle at the end. Like the battle just begins, he gets the arrow in his head, he gets shot, he gets kneecapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all aim their guns at him and it pans off.
But I like that because it felt a lot like in no way, shape, or form disrespect.
Wow.
It felt like Halloween Kills, like where they take his
mask. They have the battle, yeah, right.
Yeah,
there.
Well, they take his mask away, and then he gets his mask back, and then he just goes fucking apeshit and just kills everybody. That could have happened. Jason still had one arm.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I wanted to give it to like, hey, if you're a Jason fan and you didn't want to see him lose this battle, then hey, in your mind, he could win that battle.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're on the girls' side, you want them to kick his ass.
He blew his fucking brains out.
Mm-hmm. He's done. He's done. He's gone.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, like I was just like, well, it's not really what it's about. It's kind of what Amy Steele does the voiceover thing at the end, and it's kind of like, well, it's kind of like this battle goes on forever, but as long as there's people standing up to that, that's what you need. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's definitely going to be haters of that. It's like, what? And it's like, well, first off, I mean, realistically, we couldn't shoot anything more than what we shot, which I thought was fine enough. It got its point across.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But like, hey, you want to give us another 20,000 to do the rest of that scene? Like,
yeah, right.
Then
well, the only ones who are going to complain about that are the real gore whores who are like, I didn't get to see it. I mean, I appreciate what you did.
And the gore too. I mean, there's a couple little gore parts, but we didn't like overdo it. I feel like we kind of.
No,
I feel like there was more to like the machete going through and blood squirting out and everything.
See, and I like that. It didn't, but it wasn't over the top. It still wasn't over the top.
No, because it's like we kind of put our mind frame into like the 80s ones where it's like, you know what? If this went more than this, the MPAA would have cut out by frames until like it was just this, and that's what we see in those old Friday the 13th movies.
Oh yeah,
right.
It's they are edited.
Oh,
so we kind of edited it ourselves,
right,
to make it even feel more like it. And I didn't want to go too much. And if you notice, like too, I just didn't really want to do the whole. I know Friday the 13th movies are recognized for like, we gotta, smoke weed and get naked and everybody's hooking up with everybody and stuff like that. But like, I'm just like, I'm like, that's not the reason.
Again, you got it down to it's relatability, man. It's relatability.
This is a different movie than that.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah. I just didn't feel like, I'm like, well, it's not what I loved about those movies growing up. Like, it was nice when you're a little kid. Yeah, boobies,
exactly.
And how could you shift that hard in tone, unless of course you were just introducing two new characters that were going to immediately get killed.
And it would have been weird anyway, like you said,
to go with the banana at the side of the road.
Like Clint said, the tonal changes that wouldn't have even made any sense. Like now we go from like serious to kind of serious, and all of a sudden titties.
And just like, throw it in there.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Throwing it in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where did that happen? I just figured like, you know what? There's plenty of fan films out there for the people that love, blood and boobs.
Yeah.
So it's like, let them make that. Let me just try and tell this like low key story about something totally different, you know.
Yeah. Well, you did it. You did a
and
great
hopefully
job.
The characters are likable.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Well, that was
which
the
is
thing.
not
Like, I
something you
didn't
get a lot.
want to see any characters die. Like, I'm like,
No.
well, you know, again,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I use
see
that word a
next to
lot.
me when Katie gets killed. Seaver next to me was like, "Oh no!" I don't know if you heard him, but he was like, "Oh no!" Like, because he like loves, you know, that character and the
Yeah.
actress, you know.
Mhm.
No,
she's
everything was
great.
good. Everything was good, man. Like I said, it's
If I had to pick on one thing,
Yes, please pick away. I would love it.
Oh no!
I know you're
Too
trying
much
to wrap it up, Don.
positivity
No,
here.
you're fine, brother.
Yeah.
I want the
Yeah.
negative feedback. Come on.
Yeah.
I already got
was-
some negative feedback.
Yeah.
I was just smiling. I was just
for
smiling
me-
when I got the negative feedback. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, good. I'm like,
Yeah.
not everybody's gonna see it that way. Good.
Right.
Picky.
Well,
Go ahead,
because
Picky.
you asked for it before, you did. So I wanted to have something to bring to the table for this. If I had to pick anything, it'd be the cat and mouse chase with Robbie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Just because, like, I'm not used to seeing Jason allow that to happen. Like, somebody might trip, they might run for a little bit, he'll catch up to him, he'll get him, you know what I mean? But it's usually still pretty quick, you know, or you get your final girl, you know, who somehow manages to just do enough of the right things to slip him several times and like turn the table on him, you know what I mean?
Jason doesn't miss with swings of a machete.
And it's like,
yeah, that he just kind of scared him with the machete along the tree. Yeah.
Right. Well, to me, that was almost like a Scooby-Doo moment. You know, I mean, it's like he turns his head, he comes back, whack into the tree, like he intentionally missed him and jumped him like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Let's go, Scoob. You know, it's like it kind of felt like that a little bit to me, but totally other than that, it was
that's cool. I mean, like in my mind, I think it was that Jason knew that he can get this kid whenever he wants, and you know he's messing with them. I think after like his last kill, when he's doing the ribeye thing, I think maybe there was a part of him. Yeah, there was a part of him that like, oh, you know what? I don't know how many people are out here this time around,
but I want to get them all anyway.
I want to get them all, but you know, I'm like, let me mess with this kid. You know, that's why he's just standing there when Robbie first turns around and sees him. He doesn't do anything. He's just like looking at him, but he's like, oh, let me scare this kid. Let's see how long I can scare this kid.
Jason had a personality in this one. It was that was another thing too. It was like the sackhead Jason. It was like
definitely toyed with him.
Yeah, exactly. He toyed with people.
I mean, like, yeah, he could have just killed them immediately when he threw him in the middle of the, you know, the circle there. That dirt that was there. Yeah, he's just like he just wanted to go slow with him. I don't know what was going through his mind, but like, I like the way James was playing him, and I was just like, just do it. I'm like, just don't let me see you breathe.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't want the Kane Hodder impression thing. Like just I want you to be dead.
Yeah,
you know? Like more C.J. Graham than Kane Hodder.
C.J. Graham played a great Jason. Great Jason.
Yeah. He's him and Ted White, I think, are my favorites.
Ted White and Ford played a really good one too.
Yeah,
definitely did.
Did you think when fake Jason comes out, at any point did you like somebody's told me like they thought that was going to be the real Jason?
Fuck
like,
no, because we knew what to expect. Because somebody showed us a fucking video. I don't know who that was. Pretty sure somebody fooled us.
Sorry, so it didn't fool you at all.
Of course, not us.
No.
It fooled the girl.
I would have never figured. I would have never figured you for putting him in the movie that early anyway.
Maybe for a second and a half.
Yeah.
Well, because it hung too long and it was intentionally campy, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh no, run, get out of here, you know that. So it's like
my best friend Tommy, who I grew up watching the Friday 13th movies with, he like at first groaned when that scene came up when he's watching it for the first time, because he was just like, oh no, the acting right here, he can't be that can't be. And then he's like, oh, he's fake scared. I'm like, fake scared. A guy that he knows is pretending to be Jason, you know,
right?
That he helped set up. So
That's funny.
Don't worry about that.
That's funny. Oh no, Jason. Oh no.
And then,
I didn't expect to get.
And do you feel like I should have put a real fart noise in there when the guy farts?
No.
Or should I kept
No,
you're good.
I feel like maybe he could have just had like a deeper expression, like
yeah, that's where I was at. Like noise was good, but he could have he could have acted like what he was doing
instead of just smiling.
Yeah.
And waiting for the smell to hit them.
Yeah, it could have been like concentrated. Exactly. Exactly. Like I want people to know what I'm doing.
How did you feel about the very, very end? You watched past the credits?
Of course.
That was my favorite.
That was the best part
of the movie.
That was your favorite thing?
Best part.
No. Jill Whitlow was a standout for me.
Yeah, she was I
absolutely loved her in this. And she had the best line at the end of the movie about the flamethrower. So
flamethrower. I mean, fuck. Just bring it back with a full tank.
So I know that wasn't intended to be it, but for me, that was definitely a highlight. I really enjoyed her.
Yeah, I hope everybody likes that. All the Night of the Creeps. I'm a massive
Night of the Creeps. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm hoping people get a kick out of that, and then kind of realize, like, all right, well, they realized a few things with that little last scene that she took part in, kind of setting up Robbie as
orchestrating it.
Yeah, it tied it together.
They were there to for everybody to keep an eye on them. And unfortunately, I guess there was not enough people to keep an eye on the couple that was walking around the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Who gives
a shit? Don't fuck about them. Fuck them guys.
You can't save everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
I went back a couple of times and I was trying to pick out, since I knew there was at least one character that was early in the movie who showed up at the end of the movie. I was trying to see, how many can I see? Oh, was the jogger? Is that one of them? Trying to figure out how many people I saw leading up to it who ended up in that final scene.
Yeah, there's a cut scene actually where it would have tipped, it off. If I actually left it in there, where the girls that are the photographer and the model,
right.
After Robbie gets in the car, you see the model pick up the phone and says he's here.
Oh, good. I'm glad it got cut because that was awesome when she showed up. I was like,
I knew I wasn't really going to use it, but I'm like, let me just film this anyway.
Yeah, get the footage.
I might put it like in the credits at some point to show that, like, he had been being watched the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that could have been cool.
That is cool. Yeah, kind of like there's always somebody there watching him.
Right, and the photographer is the one that has the sword at the end. Some people didn't realize that was the same person, Desiree from Chris Seaver's movies. Yeah, because she kind of looks different because she's wearing like a hood.
Yeah, the hood.
Yeah.
But that's the photographer.
That reminded me of something like Walking Dead, like all the weapons and shit that came out. I was like, God damn, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was so much fun to shoot. I was so, scared of that day because it was like 30 people on set. I mean, we had a trailer. We had to walk 15 minutes into the woods, like set up a tent. It was like 30 some odd people that day to shoot. And I was just like, oh my God, people have to use the bathroom. And it's like, and you kind of have to be like, I was thinking like, oh my God, most of the people are women here. We want to treat them like gold and have them like get to a toilet fast, but because it was so hot, nobody used the bathroom a lot because you're kind of just sweating it out.
Yeah.
So everybody's going hours and hours and hours without peeing,
They didn't have 3 bottles of water before that?
They're pissing all day.
Done.
All day.
I'd had 2 beers and fucking dehydrated.
Yeah. Favorite person in that circle? Gas Can Sally. I love
Gas Can Sally.
Gas Can Sally's the shit.
I can get Gas Can Sally for you right now if you want.
Woo!
She's my next door neighbor.
What
Wow.
the fuck?
Yeah, my next door neighbor.
We'll get her in October.
Gas
That was just
can
awesome.
Sally.
Just walks up with gas cans.
Like,
I'm ready
fuck.
to go, bitch.
Like,
I
this
told a
bitch is
lot of
ready.
them.
She's gonna set the whole fucking forest on fire just to kill this asshole.
I was telling her, I'm like, everybody has to come up with their own names, except for like 6 people I had names for.
Mhm.
One of the names is Higgins. I don't know if you noticed that in the credits.
Yeah.
So I kind of leave that to the fans' imagination.
Mhm.
Like, is it Chris Higgins
Yep.
from part 3,
Mm-hmm.
or is it like somebody that's related to her? And it's up to you. But it's the woman with the axe on her shoulder that's wearing similar colors of clothes to Dana Kimmel from part 3.
Yep.
Mm.
It's up to you.
Luckily, I just watched these before I showed up. So like I noticed some of the shit. I was like, all right, cool. That's for part 3.
So like this Higgins, there was a couple of like Gas Can Sally, Shotgun Jen.
Gas Can Sally was a fucking hero, man. She
Uh,
was gonna kill
AR-15.
if she was gonna kill Jason no matter what. Set the
Yeah.
whole fucking forest on fire.
There's the older woman with the like, the lever shotgun.
Yeah, repeater. Yeah.
Yeah. Her name was Ruthless Ruth. And,
Yes.
yeah, she named herself that. And then there was the one with the flamethrower.
Flamey Steel.
Flamey
Flame
Steel.
Steel. Love that though. That's so fucking
Good old
awesome.
Flamey Steel.
Flamey Steel.
Loved it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I wonder what Amy thinks about that. Yeah.
She's got to get a shirt that says that.
Oh yeah. Next con,
Flamey Steel.
she better have a fucking.
You're gonna
shirt
gift
set.
it to her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I have I have we have 2 types of t-shirts right now, but the third t-shirt that I want to have made, I mean, depending on how successful this is and if people want to buy merch and stuff like that, and it grows, I do want to make a third t-shirt and have a picture of fake Jason saying, well, she's no Tara Palladino. So
Oh yes.
and then on the
Fucking-
back it would say "Victim No More" or something.
Oh, I'm buying that.
Yeah.
That comes out. I'm
Yeah.
buying that. Just make it in.
Or should I have the song that he's singing in the woods?
That's what I. Yes, that's what I would do. Yes. Fucking A, right.
Yeah.
Everybody was singing that song like for weeks after that.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
Because he was kind of like making it up and he kept singing. I'm just like, oh my god,
It's like,
this
shut
song.
the fuck up. Now it's stuck in my head.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Just now you gotta come out with a soundtrack. Gotta be on the soundtrack now. Well, Clint's got his Victim No More shirt on.
I do.
Oh, excellent. The teaser one.
Fits really good.
Yeah.
Don, I gotta get you one, right?
Yeah, I got my pin. I got one. I got my pins up here behind me that you gave me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Gotta get you some beanies and
I'll wear the fuck out of beanies. I'll wear the fuck out of beanies without a doubt. So you know what? Let's do this, Clint. Let's do a new thing that we haven't done before. Let's rate his movie on this episode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So this will be a first.
Can I rate my own movie?
Of course.
Of course.
0.2 stars.
What is 0.2 stars? How does that that the fuck does that exist?
Yeah.
It's like the arm of a star. No, so what we do on a podcast is we do a critical factor and a fun factor. That's how we do our thing. So we look at it critically and be serious, and the fun factor we kind of look at it in a more humorous way. So I'll start it off and I'll say critical factor. I'll definitely say a 4 out of 5.
Oh, wait. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on.
What the hell is he doing? Well, I'm going to pee if he's doing to go and get somebody.
Left something in his car.
Clint, you do it.
Sally.
Clint, you do it. You record. I'm going to pee.
Oh, he was looking for
Record. Yeah,
Gas
go
Can
ahead,
Sally.
go.
I got you.
I heard Gas Can Sally outside, but she must have been leaving instead of coming in.
Oh, I got you. So, yeah, Don walked away right in the middle of his
course.
review.
That's
so
all right.
I guess
You have to go to the
he'll
bathroom.
pick that up when he when he comes back.
He was trying to wrap things up earlier so he could go.
Yeah. I wouldn't let him do it. So,
I got excited about Guess Can't Sally.
Yeah. Critical factor. So like, I'm gonna agree with Don on that one. I'm gonna go a 4 out of 5 because like, we're as far as my mind goes, it pretty well preserved the continuity of the original canon of the films. It fits into the timeline. There was great care taken in that. It looked great. It was shot great. It had wonderful music. Everything happened at the right time. It had a nice flow to it. It didn't feel slow. It had everything I wanted. So I mean, it's
except boobs and more gore.
Yeah, boobs, smoking dope, have somebody that you really hate that you want to watch get killed real slow.
Yeah.
It's didn't have that, but that's
there's other fan films to do that,
There are. So that was really cool, from a
what a mess.
The fun factor. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gave him a 4 out of 5. Yeah. So fun factor. We'll max it out. It was a hell of a lot of fun. I'll give you 5 out of 5. It was great.
Oh man,
thank you. So what'd you do? Critical 4 out of 5.
Not worthy.
4 out of 5. Yeah.
Not worthy.
Shut up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Super appreciate that. That's awesome.
You're very welcome. So I find very, very little to take.
You're just trying to get more merch out of me. I know you are.
Yeah, that happens. No, I keep pushing this movie. I want to see more views out of it.
My shirt.
Yeah. See, I want that shirt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
all the VHS spines.
We're doing this so we can get Amy Steele on a fucking show. This is his whole thing. That's what we're trying to do.
I know. Well, I'll break your hearts right now.
I know she doesn't do podcasts.
Yeah, she's not a big fan of. Well, I mean, she loves fans. She loves.
I get it. Podcasts are not for everybody.
Yeah, they're not for everybody. You know what it is, because I think they're so. I mean, if you catch her at a convention to maybe do an interview or something, like right there at the table for like a couple of minutes, it's fine, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like some people, I think they're a lot like me in ways where like they're not crazy about talking about themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And like their work for like an hour.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's understandable. I mean, it's like I said, it's not for everybody. I mean, hell, I barely like talking to fucking Clint for 5 minutes, but I gotta do it for an hour.
So,
I get it, man.
I mean, that's why you didn't see like when the film was going to be released, you didn't see a lot of me pushing it or
that's what you had us for.
What's up?
That's what you had us for.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I have you guys for, and other people to do it for me. Like, I'm just like, I just hate going online by myself and just being like, hey guys, like the premiere is this Saturday. I hope you get all, blah, blah, blah. I'd rather just type it out and send it out. Like,
that sounded terrible anyway. You sound like a fucking car salesman. I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I hate to listen to myself be that salesman.
Yeah.
That's for like the indie filmmakers that like, want to go someplace, like kind of use fan films as a stepping stone for something even bigger and better, or just, that's what they do. They're the salesman. They get, they want to have a career in it. I don't.
Exactly.
I'm a hobby. This is a hobby. I do want to make, Kimberly Beck told me this past weekend, you got the bug. You want to do another one, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I do. But I'm not going to start thinking about it until it hits like 100,000 on like 100,000 views on YouTube. If that happens, then I'll be like, all right.
Where you at now?
I think I mean, obviously it's nowhere near that. It might be 1,300 now or something.
It's pretty good for 5 fucking days. Good Lord.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm thankfully for each and every one of them.
No doubt. We'll do our best.
Even though 3 of those are from Clint.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You're
14 of them from mine.
What is it? 14 what?
1.4K it says. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, 11 of those were mine.
You're climbing.
Okay, 11. Oh, that's
fuck it. I'll keep going.
I'm just gonna put it on repeat
Yeah,
night
right. I'm
when I
just
go
gonna
to
let it
sleep.
go and go and go and go.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Can
Or
you do that?
I'll have it on my computer,
I
my
don't know.
I
Xbox,
don't
my
want to cheat.
PlayStation.
I don't want to cheat to get to like.
I'll have it playing on
100,000.
15 different
Oh, it
things in
needs
my
to
house.
be organic. I got you.
Yeah, no, there's no cheating. I don't want to do that.
I got you.
But if it hits 100,000, then I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna start doing a campaign for the second one. It would only be a trilogy. If the the second one have to be successful.
So it's gonna do Victims no more.
No, somebody made that joke. Like Alien and Aliens. No. My working title right now is called Loose Ends, Victim No More 2.
Mm.
And it would be I told you guys about it, the anthology film. That kind of like, well, I didn't tell you in detail now that you've seen it.
I vote for 2 victims, 2 more. No.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker. That's no.
I had a friend of mine say that joke too.
God damn it.
Sorry, you weren't original there.
Victim no longer.
Victim no longer. I like that. Never victim again.
Yes.
There you go.
Loose ends.
I like
Loose
that.
ends. So it would be an anthology, kind of like 3 or 4 different stories from those women that you see at the end, like their background and like kind of loose connections to Friday 13th characters.
Oh, that should happen fucking anyway, because that would be amazing.
And you would also see the aftermath of the battle and who wins. So,
God damn, I'll give you $100,000 right now.
Thank you. I'll take it. You
do it.
I'd make 10 sequels for 100,000.
Maybe I want to see that.
Actually, I would have to I would have to make over 50 grand in order to think about doing a sequel.
Makes sense, man. Gotta be reasonable.
Yeah, and I think I told you too, like I have people already interested in being in the sequel, and it's like, well, I can't think about that until like a year from now.
Right.
Like Deborah Foreman.
Oh shit!
You gotta put me in the sequel. I'm like, you didn't see the first one yet. Why do you
right. Watch the first one and get back to me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, but hopefully she likes it.
Sure she will.
But I have an idea for her character. This may change. I'm going to spoil it right now on this podcast. This will be the only time I spoil it. So if people want to know, they have to listen to this podcast.
This one exclusive.
Did you just do a shadow bird? What the fuck was that? What in the fuck was that?
Hey,
Oh my
do
god!
with my hands.
What the fuck?
Exciting.
Wow, that was creepy as fuck.
I'm messing around with the idea, and I don't know for sure if it would be Deborah Foreman playing this character,
or Deborah Voorhees.
What?
Or Deborah Voorhees.
Or Deborah Voorhees. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking like it'd be fun to have somebody play the character of like Crazy Ralph's daughter, and that would be maybe Deborah Foreman.
Oh, that would be awesome.
But no, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see where. I mean, I have a couple of stories in mind, but
I think it sounds awesome.
And the third one would be absolutely bonkers. So, but it would bring the trilogy to an end, but it would also bring like, I'm not gonna say anymore, but it'd be good. And then I would move on to other things. I just, I'd be like, I told my Friday 13 tales. Moving on.
Yes.
I think Bobby's just trying to get on this fucking podcast more than like 14 times, which he doesn't have to do much. I mean, he's got to ask.
I will only do it 13 times.
Fair enough. I understand.
It's like there was a 13-day shoot for our film. It's 13 days for Hamityville Horror.
I understand. And we can't.
Space me out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll give you one a month. Absolutely. Or we'll just do
1 month. Just 1 year.
Or you just be on here at least the whole month of October. We can do that.
All right. Sounds good.
But I can't let you go, and Clint can't let you go.
Okay.
So I echo Clint's review. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, without a doubt.
Thank you. Awesome.
The fact that you put us in the credits at the end of this movie.
Of course.
That meant the world to us. I mean, we
hey
saw
man,
it.
you guys promoted it. You guys had me on the podcast. All the podcasts that had me on promoting it before it came out, I had to give props to them.
Well, that means a lot to us, the fact that you would do that, because I don't know how many people would. Just because I don't know a lot of indie directors out there that that would do that. At the end of their movie, special thanks is one thing, but to shout out a podcast that just had them on a podcast, didn't we did what we could for you, trying to get people to watch it, and promote it best we could.
Hey, and I hope it helps you guys out, because it's like, if people stay during the credits, it's like they have to, because they know there might be a little end credit thing. But like, if they watch the credits and see a list of like the podcasts that I thank, they might want to promote their own thing.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
So they might contact you, hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm hoping like the bands that are playing, like,
dude, that
the
soundtrack was fucking awesome.
Thank you, man. Like, the opening song is this guy, Mike McGrainer. He's awesome. Like, he's a great friend, but he's an awesome musician. His album is great. He's working on more. He's got like this great touch of like 80s pop rock. And this is a really weird coincidence, but like, he got a record contract due to Adrian King, who like kind of passed on his music to a producer, and he got a deal out of it.
That's wild.
Wow.
So he put out his first album. I absolutely loved it. I called him up and I said, yo, this first song, well, it's really the second song, but I'm like, this song, City Lights, I'm like, I got to use this for the opening of my movie. But he's a huge Friday the 13th fan. He's a huge horror fan. So it's like, I mean, anybody that you hear singing in the movie, any bands that play, like, they're big Friday 13th fans that just happen to have bands,
That's wicked, man. That's so fucking cool. Soundtrack was definitely a highlight. That and the
I feel like I should use the same groups or whatever for like the sequels, just so there's like that continuity, like that same style of like kind of range of music.
Oh, I'm in either way. I don't give a shit. I'm in either way. But just had to make sure we thanked you for that, man, because that means a lot. And again, you're a phenomenal person. You did a great job with this movie.
Thank you. You guys as well.
I hope you get a lot of compliments like that. I hope it's more good than bad.
I do too. I really do. I mean, there was so much love and passion that went into this. So
we could tell. We didn't drive to Pennsylvania to be disappointed, and we weren't.
Thank you.
So
when am I going to see you guys next? You should come to the Creature Feature Drive-In event.
We're doing New Jersey. We're doing Jersey.
Yeah, we're doing
Monster
New Jersey
Mania,
HorrorCon.
New Jersey HorrorCon?
16th,
nice.
Yeah.
You'll see His Name Was Jason, the fan film that's playing there.
What?
I like it. It's a fun one. Did you guys watch that?
His Name is Jason.
I don't know. I remember watching a documentary that had that name.
Yeah. It's
unfortunately the title is the same thing.
Okay.
There's another one, My Special Boy, that's coming out. I think I saw
I do want to check that one out. But the guys that made His Name Was Jason, there's similarities with theirs and mine. It's a sackhead Jason, but it like takes place before part 2, so it's kind of fun that they did like a part 1.5 thing, and
so it's like the reboot
for the day.
It's like how the reboot was.
Yeah.
So, and I enjoyed it. I thought they were really great people, and that like helps.
Yeah.
If
you're not a total dickweed, I won't bash your movie.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, they're really nice guys. I like what they did. It was cool. Check it out. They're gonna have it in the film festival at New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
We'll check
absolutely.
It out, it's your recommendation. Shit, we'll check it out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's cool.
Anything else you want to add, Clinton?
Clinton. Is your full name?
No, it ain't full name.
Not at all. He just doesn't.
I was gonna call him Clintoris, but that would have sounded really wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, high school. I miss it so.
Don't you? Don't you?
Oh, now you get bullied on a podcast.
I know, right?
By your fucking co-host of all people. Jesus.
No, I'm good. Take it out.
No. Take it out.
Yeah, Get out. Bobby, we want you to tell everybody where they can find you. Tell everybody where they can watch this movie. Tell everybody, your phone number. They can call you. Your address. No, tell everybody where they can find you on social media. Where they can watch Victim No More. Take us out, man.
All right. You can go to victimnomorefilm.com and watch the movie there. Within the next month or so, there'll be merchandise on there if you like the movie that much to get something. Also on YouTube, you can go to 3PD Films. That's the name of the channel, 3PD Films. Or look up Victim No More full film on YouTube and you'll find it. As soon as you type in Victim No More, it'll pop up. It's also on Vimeo if you're a subscriber to that title, Victim No More. And there's a Facebook page for Victim No More and Instagram. It's VNM_2020. And that's pretty much it. I don't do Twitter. I just don't care.
I fucking hate Twitter.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't, subscribe to it really.
Clint's gonna take over the Twitter page. Do we have a Twitter page?
You have a Twitter account that's called Hamityville 2022, but I basically use my own and then I hack yours and share the thing that I just
I feel like
did.
I was drunk when I set the Twitter one up then because fuck, I don't even know the last time.
I always retweet my stuff with your account.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I have an account on Twitter, but I don't use it. I just don't. You know what? Instagram and Facebook is enough for me.
They do enough, right?
I don't care. Like if other people want to retweet or copy paste and share, subscribe, whatever, go for it.
Right.
Like I said, I'm just like, I would, if there was a second movie coming, then I would probably hire somebody to do all the promotion.
Right. Absolutely. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh, there you go. Then I will pay you to do that job. So
you gotta even pay me.
I'll pay you
a shot in the movie.
I'll give you a shot in the movie, and I'll pay you in merch.
Boom. So. I love how he thinks he can pay us off with merch. Like that's the end all be all. Like take a shirt, take a hat. Give me some shoes. Give me some Victim No More shoes. Like get some Nikes made.
Lunchbox.
Give me that. Where gets game fucking over. You give me a Master of the Universe lunchbox.
How about this great picture of Kimberly Beck with a mustache and pipe?
Sure.
And evil eyebrows.
Great. Sure. And one of your nipples, and then we're golden.
That was us doodling at the table on her 8x10.
Fantastic. Jesus. Yeah, no, I'll do that. But yeah, guys, and just for us, if you like what we're doing, like us, subscribe to us, listen to us. We're Hamityville Horror all over the place. Can't miss us. Just make sure you put an H in front of Hamityville, or you will miss us. Yeah, Hamityville. Hamity.
And before you guys take us out, if you guys are interested at all in talking to any of the actors, the main actors or whatever, Gas Can Sally's probably out of the question. She's too,
she's too busy setting the fucking.
She's too high profile.
She's setting the world on fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See? Damn.
I'll let me know if you want to talk to them at all on this or whatever. As time goes by and
yeah, definitely. No, you got to come back.
Awesome.
Yeah, have a big old, maybe a big watch party.
Okay. Yeah, I watched that whole watch party you guys did with Night of the Beast.
It was insane.
It was very entertaining.
That fell apart.
That fucking
it fell apart.
I felt.
Well, I kept seeing a couple of the people just leave.
It was nuts, man! Like people, it was like fucking Hollywood Squares on steroids.
Yeah, it was all listed all the people were down on the sides.
I was like, holy shit, what is happening? But
You
no,
look like you look like you disappeared for a while, or you just had the video on mute or something.
You can only have 10 people in the discussion with the software we use. So I said, just put me out and bring somebody in you want to talk to.
And there's no way to get it. Like, there's no way to get more. Like, you can you can go to StreamYard and do it, but it's like $4,000 fucking dollars.
Okay.
And if you're sharing your screen, that takes one spot.
Yeah.
So
I'm like,
you basically get 9.
Yeah. 8 because I got to be there to share my screen.
Right.
Like, way to go, guys. Way to go. But no, man, it's as usual, man. Always a blast talking to you. We've met you fucking, 3 or 4 times. You're always a blast to talk to. You're just a great person, man. Just know we appreciate what you're doing. And regardless of how successful this is, which it's going to be, remember the one thing that nobody can take away from you is you made a movie. They didn't.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
I will try and keep that in mind.
Yeah, but it's good anyway.
No, but I hear exactly what you're saying. The people that complain and say they're going to and never do it. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's millions of those people.
Yep, exactly. And you're one of those people.
You gotta put in the work to do it.
Exactly.
Put in the effort to try and make it as good as possible.
Yep. And remember, you're not one of those. You're not one of those 1 million people that bitches and complains because you did it.
Thank you.
So
thank you guys so much for all the support and love.
And we'll continue, man, best we can. Like I said, we'll put it on the page and just keep it going, and we'll make sure we do what we can for you.
I'll tweet the link to your movie.
Shut the fuck up, Clint. Nobody uses Twitter. Jesus.
Retweet.
Yeah, retweet. The fucking kind of gay shit is that? Retweet. Come the fuck on, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And all right, well, I'm gonna go cheat on you guys right now because I got another podcast.
I'm gonna go eat me some dinner. So anyway, Bobby Heckman, y'all, love you. Watch this movie, Victim No More. He'll be back on soon. Love y'all.
Love you too.
All right.
Goodbye. See you online.